one of the main projects of our era is the unconscious becoming conscious. And ironically, you see that a lot on television, the many reality TV shows, the courtroom shows where people are publicly revealing things that used to be the deep, dark family secrets. Now they're all over TV. And so that's one way that things become conscious, but it's not enough that they become conscious. They need to be integrated.
Well, yeah, because the idea of just becoming conscious, like let's say a client or a patient that I'm seeing has an unconscious trauma, or not the trauma is unconscious, but the result of the trauma is conscious.
The impact of it.
The impact of it.
Yeah.
So I can sit and I can throw out my theory to say, say this taught you to doubt yourself, to lose your self-esteem, your sense of self, your lovability, all that. And I can sit there and spout that off to them for hours. And they can be conscious of it, but they're not really conscious.
Right.
Okay, so I think that's what you're saying here. It's like we can reveal all of these things and be conscious of them, but we're not, in the clinical sense, we're not really conscious. It's an integration that has to take place. It's not an intellectual, awareness of something. It's a consciousness of the heart, as the Egyptians, well, not the Egyptians, but Schwaller de Lubitz, who study the Egyptians, would say that they acquired. So
consciousness of the heart.
Consciousness of the heart, as opposed to consciousness of the intellect. And I mean, it's a good point to bring up here. Again, connecting with the Egyptians is our belief is, and my belief is that they had mastered the consciousness of the heart and integrated it with the consciousness of the intelligence. We live in an age now where the only thing that we consider important to integrate is consciousness of the intelligence. And it's quite different.
Yeah.
They're quite different. And I think these people that we're talking about, this polarity, the people that refuse to accept hatred and bigotry and misogyny, whatever it might be, are more conscious of the heart. They have a consciousness of the heart. Of course, we're labeling them liberals, which is a part of a liberal concept.
Well,
in a sense.
I'm a proud liberal, and
yes, I am too.
And I notice that there is a tendency amongst the conservative portion of the population to want to demonize liberals.
Yes, that's right. That's why I'm saying it the way I am. Right.
There is people who believe, for example, that anything that's published in the large mainstream papers, the Washington Post, the New York Times, is fake news.
Right.
It's like, can't be trusted. I've heard a conservative politician on television just yesterday. He was asked about this judge who is now being accused of sexually molesting women. And he was asked about it, and all he could say is, as far as I'm concerned, anything the Democrats would attempt to do is going to be harmful and evil for this country. So...
Well, that's again,
it's the polarization.
Polarity, and
I mean, it does seem like that's a tough nut to crack. The era in which we're living, and yet I realize things were much worse 70 years ago when the whole world was at war.
Well, from a psychotherapist perspective, we would describe something like that as being the adaptable child, the child that's still a child system, but C stains is black and white, and C stains is this polarity that you're describing. There's no gray area. There's no compromise. There's no sense of integration.
And in fact, amongst many people in politics today, compromise is considered a dirty word.
Right. But again, we're talking on this level up here, which is what we live in. I'm not saying that's not significant and important, because it is. But if we're really trying to get into a place where we reconnect with lost soul, we have to work through all of that, which includes the unconscious, then the collective unconscious, and these complexes and these pathologies that we experience as individuals.